live today. This is our second live. We might have a third one, right after this one on the StreamYard though. So shout out to everybody who's going to join this live now in the middle, and those who are going to check it when it uploads to YouTube. Y'all know my disclaimer. I'm not a pastor, preacher. I don't hold any type of office in the church. So please do not lay claim of those titles on me at all. Yeah, I mean, we're not here to violate any type of community guidelines, any type of copyright infringement, or anything of that manner. Now, I know people have been saying that, I guess the camera is like, left to right or whatever the case may be. And I mean, I still haven't got a chance to fix that yet, so please forgive me for that. You know what I mean? So this topic, we're going to be talking about how important are finances in a marriage. You know what I mean? What importance does, handling finances, the role of that in a marriage. Shout out to Georgina Fleming. Shout out to you. Hope all is well with you at Georgina Fleming is one of my channel moderators. Shout out to you. What's up to Jonah? Shout out to you. Appreciate that. Hope all is well with Brother Jonah. What's up to Express? Shout out to you. Hope all is well with you. You know what I mean? Where else we at? What's up to Express? Mona, shout out to you. Hope all is well with you. At Mona. What's up to TNT? Shout out to you. What's up to Jose? Shout out to you. Hope all is well with you. Quanta B. Express says, almost thought you couldn't make up your mind. You went from 6 to 6:15, 6:37. He said, what's New Year? I had to eat, man. You know what I mean? I was eating. You know what I mean? That's what I was doing. Trying to get my grub on for sure. Before I came on here. All right. What's up to Quanta B? What's up to Demodoc? What's up to Drago? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. This man was time watching. You know what I mean? Let me find out. I need a position for timekeeper now. I'm about to open that position up. That'd be good for you at Excel Express. You know what I mean? A timekeeper. All right. What's up to Chris? Shout out to you. What's up to Mercy Carr? Shout out to you. What's up to Lona? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. What's up to Tyree, Rashida? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. DJ Grant says, greetings. You says, finances are a key. You says, a key thing in a marriage, both have to understand, have an understanding. The man has to be ready for whatever comes, but teach his wife what to do just in case. Hey, Demodoc, you funny. You said, but teach his wife what to do just in case he can't do it. Good point. So we got some timekeepers up here. What's up to David B? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. All right. So you said it's a key thing. It's a key thing. What's your take on a husband and wife having a joint account? What's your take on that? You know what I mean? Is it mandatory? Should it be mandatory for the two to have a joint account? You know what I mean? What if somebody's an overspender? You know what I mean? They want those new Jordans for $500 versus getting that new starter fixed on their car, or getting them brake rotors, or them brake pads, or whatever you call them things. Because some people mindset financially is like that. You'd rather go out, buy some new Jordans, you know what I mean, buy some jewelry, you know what I mean, buy some Gucci, Louis Vuitton, versus handling important priorities. You know what I mean? All right? AG says, properly managing finances prevents taking the marriage to the streets, literally. I agree with that. Grant says, I think a husband and wife is not mandatory for them to have a joint account. You should talk first, and if one isn't responsible with money, they should not be able to have control of the money. Joint account. You also stated that, but if they are both responsible, if one is more responsible than the other, then whoever is the responsible one should manage the money. I agree. I agree. So, as a man, you know what I mean? Do you think the whole paycheck should go to the wife? You know what I mean? Do you, is your money her money? I know we hear that a lot from PJ because that goes right with this topic. You know what I mean? PJ mentioned that, his money is his wife's money and her money is her money. You know what I mean? At one point, I couldn't come up to that. I'm an honest person. At one point, I said what this man is talking about in reference to that, his money is his wife's money and her money is her money. You know what I mean? So if I'm a single man and I'm like, wow, that's how it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? At the time, I'm talking about years ago when I first heard it. When I first heard him say that, and being single, whatever the case may be, years ago, and I'm like, yo, he's wow. I don't know how he do it, but as years pass, you start to understand what he's talking about. So obviously, like you said, Grant, somebody who's responsible. I mean, which is very important. All right. Um. Hmm. Fleming says I was just watching a live with this couple, and they were confessing to each other. The wife was doing some extra spending and lying about it. They have joint account. I think it's kind of like impossible. If somebody's really watching the account and seeing the expenses and where this person is shopping, you know what I mean? If the tab say Foot Locker, $450 versus $450 to get them new tires on that car, there's a problem. You understand that? It's a big problem if the joint account has an expense from Louis Vuitton. You know what I mean? Versus, paying that mortgage or paying the rent or paying them light bills, water bills, and stuff like that. All right? What's up, the God owns the whole world? Shout out to you. Denver Doc says finances definitely important though. Both need to learn about the importance of income to debt ratio, credit scores, financing. Need to know what to do with your money. Gotta have a vision. Credit scores. Important. Debt ratio. Debt ratio. Is this person in debt somewhere? You know what I mean? But me personally, I don't count school loans because the Sally Mae's, the what else? What's that new one they got out? I think it's Novant or something like that. And I think there's another one out that they just got new with. I'm not too savvy on it yet, but them colleges kind of tricked a lot of people. You know what I mean? Now a lot of people is in you know, student loan debt and stuff like that. But if a person got like 30 grand in debt, then collections and stuff like that, hmm, what do you do if somebody's in $30,000 debt? What do you do? You know what I mean? Because some people could be ignorant to finances when they was younger, but then they get some knowledge. You know what I mean? And they handle their finances much better. So what do you say about a person who's in debt? You know, even we talking about even before marriage. All right. DJ Grant says, he says, no, not at all. The whole paycheck does not go all to my wife, but I make sure first all responsibilities are taken care of. Then after that, I make sure I keep money in her pocket. Wonderful. You know what I mean? Fleming says PJ wife is very disciplined. Not every woman is like that. I agree. I agree with that. Now that I agree with. No shade thrown, but I agree with that. James says whole paycheck should go to the account, not the wife. If it works for you and your household, then rock on. Jonah said just don't want to be a henpeck, though. He says amen. DJ Grant says, for example, if I'm left with $500 after all expenses are handled, I will give my wife $200 and try and put up some gas money for work and money to eat, but make sure she has money for herself. It's a good one right there. What's up, the OC? Shout out to you. Rashida says, well, the wife does take care of the home. I mean, he is the provider. I will let him have a little change to work with. A little change to work with. Take care of the home. G Money says, finances are important. However, just because someone in the marriage may have lost a job or substantial income, that is no immediate grounds for a separation. One must be able to endure those storms. Let me see. You know what? I agree with that. I agree with that for sure. You know, tough times might hit. You know what I'm saying? Tough times might hit in the marriage. Lose a job. You know, a lot of things come out of nowhere that you got to pay for. You know, stuff happens. You know what I mean? You know, you work together as a team. See what type of, solutions y'all could come up with or ideas to get up out of that. You know, I do agree. If tough times hit, somebody lose a job or whatever case may be, hey, you gotta toughen it out. I mean, I'm definitely with you on that one. All right, Mercy Card says you gotta make sure you got a trustworthy lady. Try it first and keep the amount what you gave her, and then make adjustments just for bills, and only give her the money to spend. DJ Grant says, so afterwards, I only have about 100 to myself. I guess, is the continuation to what you wrote before. So afterwards, I only have about 100 to myself after everything, but I have to pay expenses first. Then I want her to be comfortable to not have to ask for money for whatever she needs. Cool. All right, DVB says two cannot work together if they don't agree on finances. What's up to Christopher Span? Shout out to you. Fleming says there needs to be an open communication about what's being done. For sure. Denver Doc says figure out if your wife have any debt before marriage. Chances are that's going to impact you too, whether that's with buying a house together, doing taxes, etc. Good one. Kato says it's easy to get in debt. Oh yeah, absolutely. You're right. Denver Doc says depending upon if it's a lot, 3,000 to 6,000 in debt can be overcome, but 20 grand in debt, he said, sheesh. Yeah, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. Somebody in debt, 20,000, 30 grand. So if a spouse happen to get in debt, some way, somehow, you know what I mean? I'd still say, listen, y'all gotta figure out a solution. Try to figure something out. You know what I mean? No need to panic. You know, you work together as a team to get that handled. You know what I mean? If the man got to work extra overtime or try to negotiate with whoever he owes, you know what I mean? You got to handle his business, right? Drago says, my wife knows to tithe every payday to TOG before any money goes out to any bill. After that, she handles everything else. Fleming says, is he or she working on paying off that school debt, or is he or she waiting on the other to pay it off? Some men and women dependent need to let the other learn accountability. Mm, true. You know what I mean? But this is why I separate student loans from like regular debt. Regular debt, you can negotiate with companies and things like that. I think I remember one time I went to this school. Somebody talked me into going to this school back in 2012 in North, New Jersey. I mean, everybody was talking about this school. Oh, they give out checks, they give out this, they give out that. Me not doing my research, because I was like real, arrogant. And if I'm hearing that a school is paying money, I'm going to go after it. So after the fact, after I left, so the money that they was giving, I used that money to get my CDL. So I did something smart with the money that I was getting. I got my CDL first, Class B first, 2012. Then I upgraded my CDL in 2014 to an A. So after a while, I think it was like 2 or 3 years later, the school called me. You know what I mean? And then they got the lawyers on me. You know what I mean? I had a $12,000 debt back then. 12 grand. Because I didn't look at no paper. I didn't really focus on the paperwork or nothing like that. You know what I mean? So I negotiated 3,000. You know what I mean? And first I said 2,000. Paid off. I negotiated that. You know what I mean? At the time. So I went lower. So they said 3 grand, we had what we had, and it was paid off that day. So sometimes negotiating things with the companies can work. But with student loans, it's different. You know what I mean? I know some people got their loans forgiven from some Joe Biden stuff. I mean, that's cool. But that stuff takes time. That stuff takes years and years for that stuff to happen for some people. You know what I mean? But that's if you get qualified for it. But yes, I do agree that a person should be responsible handling whether it's school loans or whatever regular loans or credit cards and stuff like that they are in debt with. You know, I agree. Um, I lost what my comments were. Let's see where we at. Hmm. Hmm. Mercy Carr says, "You see, my husband trusted me, so he gave it to me, and everything went very well. Just he was jealous. Like he said, he never found another lady like me. I earned his trust. That's why he gave it to me." Hmm. Jeremiah Honest is going to spectate on this topic. Tyree says, "Stuff happens for sure, but I don't have it in me to stop. I keep going. I was raised to keep going and looking for work. No excuses, especially when you have a family." I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? If a man loses his job the same day, I don't know how it works with other, fields, but as a truck driver, you got your class A, clean record. Listen, you can find a job the same day you get fired or let go. You know what I mean? You can find a job right then and there. And even if not, you got a vehicle, you got Uber, you got Lyft. You might be having to do some Lyft for a little longer until you find another, job in your field. You might have to do some Uber Eats a little longer. You know what I mean? You can't be saying, "Man, I don't want to do that." Hey, you might have to go across the street and work in that supermarket until somebody call you. You know what I mean? It's like that. Like you said, a man got a family, you lose a job. Hey, listen, after they let you go or whatever happens, if something happens to the company, you know what I mean? You got to do your thing. Now over here in North Carolina, like the unemployment is not like New Jersey. In New Jersey, you get, around the same amount you was making when you was working. And if you got kids, you get more. In North Carolina, I think it's a set amount. Let's look it up. North Carolina unemployment. Let's see, pay. I think it was around like you may get up to $350 a week in unemployment benefits for up to 12 weeks. $350 for unemployment in North Carolina. You know what I mean? Now, granted that, it might be some pros to that in other places that they're using whatever money versus New Jersey. You know what I mean? But you could probably make that doing Lyft in one day or Uber. Hold on for a second. Or Uber, or whatever the case may be. You know? So right now they're trying to change it from 350 to 600, but that's something else. I would hope nobody lose a job if they got family and stuff like that. I would hope not. Um, Jonah wrote Amos 3:3. Hmm. Chris says no excuses, only adjustments. When tough times come, sacrifices need to be made. I agree. Quana B says, is it a make or break if the wife works full time, comes home, take care of the kids and home, but he wants her to get a part time job as well, but she refused because she's burnt out. Hmm. Hmm. Um. Hmm. I mean, that's a good question. You understand? A lot of women in these days, they like to work like full time. You know what I mean? Whereas though back in the day, majority of the women they stood home while a man, make the money. But here's the deal, right? They have a lot of work from home jobs in these days. A lot of work from home jobs. You understand? So some women work at home and hold down the house while they working from home. You know what I mean? So some women out there get part-time jobs or they just stay home. Whereas though it could be much better for her to take care of the house, take care of the kids, and get things in order. Because that's a job right there, honestly. You know what I mean? Getting the kids ready for school, doing laundry, cooking, cleaning, and all that other stuff that goes around in the house. That's 24/7. You know, so it could be much better if the woman stays home. Or she get a nice little part time job on the weekends or something like that. Little quick 16, maybe 24. You know, and if she got like a side hustle at home and she could be selling things online, there's different things you can do to utilize your time so you can have more time in the house to handle your responsibilities. So some women work from home, you know. All right. DJ says student loan debt like under 10,000 is understandable, but like 50,000, no, that's too much for me, but I guess it depends on the man because everyone's deal breakers are different. Yeah, Mercy Carr says, I didn't misuse any of the money. It was for our car and bills, which was taken care of. I never play with money. That's where problems step in. Kato says Evangelist Taj has a good channel on finances for those who need advice. Hit him up. Oh yeah, him and brother Mark Moretti. You know what I mean? They're really good with the finances things and stuff like that. So Evangelist Taj and brother Mark Moretti. Um, DBB says if I bring any debt into a relationship, marriage, it would be mine and not hers. I agree with that. That I agree with. All right. Fleming said 12 to 3. What a discount. Yeah, sometimes, I learned that it just takes negotiation. Takes negotiation. You understand? You know what I mean? Although that school was a ripoff, when I really look back, you know what I mean? But once they start getting them lawyers on you, I had to negotiate myself. You understand? So, hey, that was a while ago. Brother Tony, if Lady loves you, she isn't going to worry about that. She is going to help you, and if you feel the same for her, you will do the same as a family. Mercy Carr wrote. Wonderful. All right. So what is that? Odyssey? What are you talking about? You said somebody blocked you. I don't know nothing about that. First of all, you wasn't on the block list at Odyssey. You know what I mean? I viewed my block list earlier. Your name wasn't up there. You know what I mean? What's up, brother in holiness? Shout out to you. Gino, excuse me, G Money. You said you first need to vet your partner and understand the debt that they may have before going into a marriage. If you don't and they have foolish amount of debt, then you have decided to take on that debt. Good point. Um, what is honesty talk? Listen, man, we here to talk about this, man. I don't care what type of nonsense you got going on with some Hebrew Israelite stuff. I don't care about none of that, man. If you ain't here to talk about this topic, listen, just go. You understand? Just go. At the end of the day, we don't want to hear no nonsense, no foolishness about no Hebrew Israelite garbage. For sure. You know what I mean? All right, Kiddo said 350 a week is not enough for a family. You're right. You're right about that. Mercy Card says you see business as business. It's no playing with money. When you have responsibility before anything, going out for quality time, home comes first. And then you see what you are working with after that. Absolutely. Denver Doc says husband and wife should strive from being both in debt and broke. Life will be tough indeed. Don't even bring up kids. I agree. Michael Burke said, what's up? Greetings to all. Appreciate that. What's up, Sister Davis? He says finances are very important. Not only takes good love, communication, commitment, but it certainly takes good finances. Bills have to be paid. This is what this world works off of, finances. Blessings to those I have spoken to earlier. Okay, you write it to the people. All right, not a problem at Jonah. Yeah, I ain't worried about that fella. Then Madai says husbands and wives should have some sort of valuable skill that's sought after. CDL, insurance license, nursing certificate, some skill that brings in good income. I agree. I agree with that for sure. You know, you says gotta know where to put that income to. Definitely agree with that. at Denver Dock. You understand? You know, a lot of people they have serious issues due to, like, finances, and people spending the money incorrectly. Some people got gambling issues, gambling problems. You know what I mean? Some people got problems with spending money in strip clubs. You know what I mean? In some cases with some fellas, they take their whole paycheck and gamble the money. They go to Atlantic City, Las Vegas. These are the type of stuff, people need to look out for. The red flag, excuse me. Anytime a man could take his whole check and give it to a stripper, you know what I mean? That check that feeds your kids and feeds your wife, you give that whole check to a stripper, or you give that whole check to a pair of Robin jeans or Louis Vuitton sweater. You know what I mean? I like them cootie sweaters. They're pretty nice. I saw this one, I think this one Louis Vuitton sweater I like. Just because I like it, that doesn't mean I have to get it, or use a paycheck or two just for a sweater. Well, like a fool. It's nice looking, but no. What's more important is holding down your place. If you got a responsibility to hold down your place right now, like I live alone right now. If I got the responsibility now, so when a marriage happens, I'll bring on that responsibility with me and my wife and the family. You understand? All right. What's up to G Swole? You says people really need to look into the person they are marrying. After learning the biblical way of marriage, to have the woman I want to marry feels like she's in an interview by me. An interview? Ah, come on, man. Come on, G Swole. Come on, man. An interview. An interview. This guy is funny. This man said an interview. Remember, the man got to find that woman. This man said an interview. It's funny, man. Shout out to G Swole. Sister David says, I can't believe some states' minimum wages are $7.25 an hour, unheard of. $7.25 an hour. Now, I got 5 kids, right? You know what I'm saying? My lady got a few kids, right? How can 725, if I'm making 725, 40 hours a week, how much is that? Calculator, all right? 725 times 40. 725 times 40 is $290 a week. Now you got to get taxes taken out of that. It'd be like what, $50, $60. So you're left with like $240. $240. You know what I mean? You got 8 kids altogether. $240 a week. What is that going to do? You know what I mean? What man would put himself in a position to get paid $7.25 an hour? Even people who coming out of prison get some good jobs. You know what I mean? But if a man is at a job for $7.25, you might want to elevate yourself later on down the road. You don't want to stay content in the same spot. Look for better. Like I think you said, Doc, get your CDL. That's one of the best ways to hit them numbers. You know what I'm saying? One of the best ways to hit, maybe 6 figures sometimes. Man got to go out there and you got to study for that CDL test. You got to study for it, man. Go out there and take them lessons and whatnot. Go out there and get it, man. You know what I'm saying? I had to do it. Get a trade. Mechanic. You know what I mean? Work on trucks, work on cars, something. Construction is another good one. You know what I mean? Nursing, like you brought up, a demodoc, that's another good one. But 725. Let me type in lowest minimum wage in the U.S. So the lowest minimum wage is in Georgia and Wyoming, which is 5.15 an hour. 5.15 an hour. How can I pay my mortgage or rent with 5.15 an hour? How? You understand? How could I? You know what I mean? Listen, I'll be bleeding. You know, even if I do overtime hours, still wouldn't work. Still wouldn't work. You know what I mean? So let me go to more comments right quick. Drago says, glad my wife ain't into materialism. Mercy Carr says, I don't like bills. I don't like to go too long to pay something off. I just get it on over with and then take up the bills, get in on. He said, get it on out the way. I got you. Sister David says, I think budgeting and knowing the difference between wants and needs, needs and wants is important. Some things, nothing wrong with splurging or treating yourself to nice things. Just have to be prioritized and proper perspective. You're right. Denver Doc said G Swole's gonna ask those behavioral questions. Y'all funny. Fleming said 725 is just slavery. I agree. I agree. You know, Rashida says, does money cause conflict in a relationship? I mean, for starters, or it depends. Just getting married could be a bit pricey. You said just getting married could be a bit pricey. Are you talking about paying for the marriage? Or are you talking about when a person get married? If you're talking about paying for a marriage, I mean, some people get married at the courthouse. You know, quick 50, $60, and, people get married there. You understand? Or some people have $10,000 weddings, 20 grand. But if you're talking about when you get married, is it going to be expensive? I mean, you know, two is better than one, right? So if I'm a man, or if somebody's paying like $1,800 in rent or mortgage by themselves, if they have somebody, not I'm not talking about just to get married for those purposes, but financial purposes. Now you got somebody who's coming in. You know what I mean? Now you both can help take the burden off of some burdens off of each other. You understand? For example, if a man is paying $1,800 in rent or mortgage, you know what I mean? He gets married, and his wife said, "Listen, honey, I'll pay $600." If she used to pay 14, you know what I'm saying? Now she helping you out with the six. Now you saving six on the rent or mortgage, and she also saving because she used to pay 14. You understand? It's all about working together financially. So I don't think it would be expensive unless they go beyond their means. If the rent is 18, there's no reason to, okay, let's get a bigger house that's $4,000 a month in rent or mortgage. No. Have a certain mark. All right. 2,100 is our limit. 2,100. You know we got kids, whatever the case may be, but 2,100 is our limit. We're trying to stay at 16, 17 if we can. But, I believe the two should have a limit as far as rent and mortgage. Although they may have getting paid good money, but you still want to make a certain mark. You know what I mean? All right. Hayes says that's enough for gas in the McDonald's meal. What up to Hayes? He said gas in a McDonald meal. G Swole says I meant an interview as in asking questions to make sure she's fit to be a wife, and I expected the same thing for her to make sure I'm fit to be a husband. Well, if you're talking about you talking about financially. Yeah, we on finances. Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about something in general, we talking about if he or she is fit financially. So they said in the state of Texas and another state, it is 7:25. In St. Louis, Missouri, it's 12:30 an hour. Still not enough. You're right. Listen, 12:30 ain't enough. You know what I mean? 12:30 ain't enough. I remember they did like when I was young, New York had did like it was like a news, Fox 5 News or something like that, and they put the average amount of rent in New York. I think it was around like 3,000 or 4,000, and I think you had to make like at least $30 an hour to just get by yourself. You understand? New York has crazy rent, crazy mortgage. For what? Because it's New York. You know what I mean? I mean, my father lived over in New York. He lived in Times Square. You know? Listen, help yourself, brother. You understand? Help yourself, brother. That's on you. But you could save a lot more money if you get up out of that. But he lives alone, he's by himself. Hey man, enjoy your life over there, man. That's on you. You know what I mean? Live your best life, sir. All right? Dimmer Doc says 725 is 580 bi-weekly, 1580 a year. A lot, them type of people, I notice when filling out, when they fill out for like welfare and stuff like that. And there's nothing wrong with welfare. There's nothing wrong with getting food stamps because food stamps in these days is golden, man. Honestly, it's like gold. I listen. I would hope to get some food stamps. You know what I mean? That stuff is good. I remember we used to go to the store as kids, and we'll be embarrassed. But in these days, them food stamps is golden. You know what I mean? All right, but 15K a year, nah, that's definitely not enough, man. Honestly, that's not enough, man. All right. G Swole says, Can a truck driver job sustain a family and a marriage? I want you to go to performancefoods.com. I want you to go there. Go to those truck driving jobs, Performance Foods, McLean, Cisco, Post Office, any type of truck driving job, night transportation, Walmart. Yeah, go to Walmart. Drive for Walmart. You know what I mean? A lot of those companies they pay six figures, but you're gonna work. They're gonna make you work. Or go to what is that? U.S. Express. I think U.S. Express you get like a $15,000 sign-on bonus, but that's traveling over the road. You know what I mean? So a lot of the companies they give you sign-on bonuses, man. So can a truck driving job sustain a family? Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Absolutely. I'm not trying to sell truck driving to people out here, but it could be beneficial for sure. You know what I mean? I mean, you drive buses, Mr. G Swole. You know what I mean? I don't know if you get like split schedules with driving a bus. Normally, bus driving, whether it's transit or school, it's normally like a split schedule. 3 hours here, You take a 2 hour break or something like that. You come back, you do another 3 or 4 hours. And I think certain bus companies have like small sign-on bonuses. They got some good benefits, and you get an upgrade in pay yearly. You know what I mean? So it all depends, man. How you manage your money, also, or if you want overtime, that can help also. Ask your supervisor. Listen, is extra hours open? You know what I mean? You got extra hours. You know, and if that's not helping out, then it doesn't hurt to do extra. When you get home, do some Uber, do some Lyft. You know what I mean? Do some of that. Get a weekend job, part-time job, or something like that. Something. You as a man, you got to get out there and get it. All right. What's up to Mr. Hebrew? Shout out to you, brother. Holiness says it's always good to know each strength, other strength and weaknesses before marriage. Your spouse might be better than you in some areas, so humility is a must. I agree with you. I agree with you. Denver Doc says the G-Swole CDL is a good opportunity if you do your research. I think G-Swole, you got your B? I think G-Swole got his B, right? Denver Doc says, I say personally, the biggest jump for me is being an entrepreneur. I love to do it, but I'd like to be informed. For sure, David B says, although a lot of adults work minimum wage jobs, it's really entry-level work meant for teens. Wow. What's up to Brandon Briggs? G4, you say you don't think your job can sustain a family in a marriage. Well, you got to understand, you're going to have another person, you know what I mean, to be your helpmeet. So if you living alone, you understand, like I gave an explanation earlier, if you're paying like 14, now you got your wife, listen, she'll probably come out of nowhere and say, listen, I'll help you out. I'll give you $600 a month. You understand? It's not saying that you're gonna handle everything. Now, if you want to, that's fine. But a real woman will ask, listen, you need help with anything? You understand? Do you need help with this? Do you need help with that? That's a real woman right there. You know? But if a man can hold down a fort 100%, then cool. All right. G School said, but it's hard for some women to live within their means, especially due to social media, to want to show off like we got it like that. Well, you are looking at the wrong women. You know what I mean? A woman after God's heart ain't like that. You know what I mean? Them Instagram models are like that. Them Facebook models are like that. You know what I mean? But a woman who's after the Lord, she ain't like that. You know what I mean? She don't got no time to be showing off on social media. She focused on what's going on in the household. That's what she's doing. You know what I mean? So those type of women ain't compared to a woman who's after the Lord. Not one bit. Yes, I see some women on Facebook showing off. I do. You know what I mean? But it's them type of people, they looking for some type of validation. You understand? So what? They got on new Dolce & Gabbana, whatever you call that garbage. You know what I mean? People want to show off their new cars and I got this, I got that. Sometimes it's like somebody scratching the chalkboard. It's irritating to my ears or eyes. Because now you're letting people know, now you open people up to pocket watching you even more. People may say, yo, congratulations about this car over here, this house. They pocket watching you now. You know what I'm saying? When I got a new car and all that, I ain't put that on Facebook. For what? I ain't putting nothing up that got to do with my finances on Facebook or social media. I think the idiot Rango TV. You know what I'm saying? He put up, he moved, he went to Charlotte, North Carolina. He put up his new house. Why would you allow people to see that, man? You understand that? Now you got the wolves out there because they think us YouTubers are rich. Now you got these wolves out here. Now they're looking at you. You know what I'm saying? Now you telling them where you live at. You showing them your area where you live at. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't recommend that. I ain't saying nothing about my finances. Even if I was a millionaire, listen, I ain't showing nothing like that. All right? Mercy Carr says, split the bill on everything, then see what's left. Because for me, I was more able to handle the money better than my husband, because if I didn't, he would have went through it all, but not here. Home come first. G Swole, man. Then Doc says, food stamps golden. I know some people that make fake coupons. Wow. It says, I wish they would give me some food stamps, would drop them down on the counter so fast. Absolutely. Absolutely. Denver Dot says, Walmart, a little tough to get in. Cisco and McLean may be easier. Since you're in holiness, you limit on what type of fright you carry, though, alcohol. Oh, yeah, when I worked for McLean, you understand? I remember when I got hired at McLean, I'm like, man, they got, I don't work there no more. $10,000 sign-on bonus. I'm like, I'm good. 6 figures? Man, I was good. So they showed us around, the warehouse in McLean. I'm like, it's cool. And then the fella said, here's where we store the cigarettes at. Here's where we store, the Black and Milds. I said, man. I said, man. Wow. So here it is. I had a golden deal with McLean. And almost at the end of the tour of our orientation, they took us to a big area of the warehouse where they stored cigarettes at. Black and Milds and stuff like that. Man, listen, man, I was just so upset within myself. I was upset. So now I got a job now. You understand? Now I got to haul the stuff in at 7-Eleven and Circle K's and stuff like that. And we was doing that at nighttime. So I had to find another job, man. I found another job and whatnot. It's tough. It's tough. So, David Doc, you're right. It was tough, man. You understand? Listen, let me say that. It was tough. I didn't get my $10,000 bonus. But it was tough. Every time I hauled in those little totes, man, and when delivering a Black and Mild and cigarettes, I think it was like an open tote. Wow. So it was good to get up out of there at the time a while back. But you're right about that. You got to be careful upon what type of freight you're carrying. Because it could be alcohol, it could be cigarettes, it could be Black and Mild, it could be vapes, or whatever you call that trash. You understand? So McLean does that with the Circle K's and the 7-Elevens and stuff like that. Performance, that's just performance with like frozen foods, fruits and stuff like that. So performance was alright. But, that's like kind of slavery over there too. You know what I mean? There's a mess over there, performance. Well, the one I was at. Right? So you're right about that. Denver Doc says hazmat might be the easiest endorsement to get. It's simple questions, just build up the what is that the repetition or repetition and doing practice tests. Yeah. Well, mm, I had the hazmat before in New Jersey. I let it go due to watching those videos on YouTube when you got them tankers flipping over and stuff like that, and that just turned me the wrong way because it's like you're driving a bomb. Honestly, you know what I mean? When you hauling like fuel, gasoline and stuff like that. But I do know you need hazmat endorsement to get into Walmart. Now Walmart may be tough to get in as far as like filling out for application, but me, if something like that is tough to get in, I'm gonna go to the place and I'm gonna want to speak to a supervisor. I'm gonna go full force myself. If it's something like that is tough to get in, I'm gonna want to speak to somebody there versus just filling. I'll fill out the application online, but I would want to see somebody. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to keep, knocking on the door, coming in to show your presence that you're really interested in this job. But Walmart, once you get in, I heard that it's beautiful there. You know what I mean? You're just dropping off like what? Dropping off loads and that's it. Pretty easy. Good pay over there. All right, we got about a couple more minutes, then we're gonna knock off. Diva Doc says tough delivering black and miles, then on Sunday of Apostle Jennings speak on it during service. Oh yeah, you're right about that. Ah man, you know. Um, Mr. Huber says sounds good for those who drive truck. By the way, I like your trucker's hat. He said trucker hat. It's a trucker hat. I never knew that. I listen. I just got the hat randomly on Amazon. All right. D. Kimball says finances are important. Having a joint house account is a must for emergency purposes. A joint house account at D. Kimball. All right. You said Sister David said look up the highest paying wage state. Highest paying wage state. Per hour. Mm. The highest paying minimum wage in the United States is 17.50 in Washington D.C. I'm just gonna say area because I don't think D.C. is a state, honestly. But that's what they say. Then the state of Washington is 16.28. California is 16. So DC, the area of DC is 1750 in DC. um, what's up, the Paulie Campbell? Shelly Mars says money is not essential to me in the marriage. I'm looking for his heart and respect. Plus, I want to know how he treats his mother before I say come over to my house. Oh man, Diva Doc says I know a brother seeking to leave McLean for that very reason, cigarettes. Yeah, man. I know it's rough. I know it's rough. You know what I mean? Because they may have like totes. See, the thing is, the totes, if the totes was like closed, where as though you can't see what's in them, you don't know. You know what I mean? But when you deliver to the 7-Elevens and stuff like that, you got to count every piece. And you're going to see those Black and Miles. You're going to see those cigarettes and stuff like that. And it's like, wow, man. You think about it. You're like, here it is. I'm delivering cigarettes and Black and Miles. And I'm promoting the truth of God. Now, what if somebody, not that I'm, a celebrity or anything, what if somebody, who watched the broadcast and they see me hauling this in? How would that look? You know what I mean? So it was a good thing to get out of that, a couple of years ago and stuff like that, man, because I'm like, man, I'm already in here, so I can't quit right now. I won't have no income. You know what I mean? To take care of these kids and whatnot. You know? So a new job came about, and I was thankful for it at the time. Denver Doc says cost of living in DC is $1,750, but the cost living monthly is $1,400. What's up to TNT? Shout out to you. Shelly Moore says, when my ex-husband knew I was going through a divorce, he drained our bank accounts. But like I always say, God doesn't like ugly. Wow. 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 All right, we got to end this live. We got to go. We got to end this live. I'll be back on the StreamYard in a couple of minutes. Probably like 20 minutes, I'll be back on the StreamYard. I got to use my regular camera and whatnot. So, Lord willing, I'll see y'all on the other live in the next 20, 30 minutes. I'm Tony Harvin. I'm signing off. May you all have a wonderful and blessed evening. I'm out. Peace.